Loose skin absolutely sucks, and I think I've found a way to beat it. After losing over 158 pounds in just over a year, I'm pretty happy to say that I have very little of it. So today I'm gonna walk you through what my routine was from the very first day of my weight loss till now to mitigate and prevent as much loose skin as I possibly could. So the first thing I do every single morning is come into the bathroom and I start by weighing myself. And after weighing myself, the next thing I'll do is I will try to chug pretty much a whole liter of water. See, hydration is key to maintain skin elasticity. So well-hydrated skin is actually less prone to sagging or to the development of loose skin. And it absolutely does play a part in your skin's ability to essentially bounce back, as people like to say. So that's why ever since I've started the weight loss, I've been aiming at least 6 or 7 liters of water every single day, which sort of puts things in perspective when people just laugh at me at the amount of water that I used to drink. Laughing and very little loose skin. And the second that we're done here, it is now 4:30 in the morning and it's time to go to the gym. So after practicing my posing, it's just as simple as hopping on the treadmill and doing whatever amount of cardio that I have to do that day. And after which I would do what I like to call these standing twists. There's no actual science-backed data behind this, but I've been doing this from the very start, and I honestly feel that either it played a part in the muscle development of my abs to make them grow into the loose skin, or it actually might have helped loose skin. As you can see here, my skin being stretched over and over must have some sort of effect where blood flow is getting in there and just helping it heal. Now again, there's no real scientific backing to this, but I've been doing this from the start and clearly it worked for me. After doing the twist, I will move over to do a ab training every single morning, which usually only consists of 2 to 3 movements where I'll do 2 to 3 sets, going to absolute failure every time. Now that we're back from the gym, let's talk about creams. Over the course of my weight loss, I tried a few different creams to see what would actually help and what was just more of a myth. And I tried 3 different ones over the course until I found one that actually worked. The first one being bio oil. Now, this is supposed to help reduce the appearance of scars or stretch marks. It's supposed to help with the loose skin situation. This is not the first bottle that I used, actually. This is the, I believe, 3rd bottle that I had until I kind of came to the point that nothing was happening after trying it for about 2.5 months, and I decided to just drop it. I know I've personally heard some good results from it, but it was purely anecdotal. Regardless, this was the first one that I tried until I tried this one. Preparation H. Now, Preparation H is actually used for hemorrhoids. If you think of what a hemorrhoid is, which is essentially the loosening of a blood vessel, this could make sense because this causes the constriction. What's the word in English? The vasoconstriction is the word that I was looking for. I had heard that using this for loose skin might actually play a very large difference simply based on the fact that, again, it would cause the vasoconstriction within the actual skin cells itself. Now, did I notice any differences? Not really. I've heard that this actually works better closer to a bodybuilding show due to the fact that by then your loose skin would have very, very little fat around it, which I guess sort of makes sense if you look at these little deposits here. Because it's so skinny and there's nothing in between the layers, this could actually work. So that's when I found the one that actually worked. And that ended up being this one, which is called GHKCU, which is a copper-based peptide cream. Now, before actually using the cream, I was using an injection. And to be honest, I didn't really see a very large difference in results between the injection or the cream, which is fantastic because I know that getting the actual injection now is incredibly hard, or you actually can't get it in most places anymore. This cream did some absolutely amazing things for me. And it's as simple as using 1 gram of the cream to the affected areas. So me, obviously, the worst of my loose skin was around my chest area and my lower stomach and my lower back down here. Now, I have to be honest here, this cream is not a miracle thing that overnight is going to make you look like a completely different human. There is a point where you could just have too much loose skin accumulation where surgery would probably only be the only viable option. But for the areas where there's a little bit less, it will work over time. And that's the beauty of this, because I really saw a lot of differences in my abdominal area. So that's pretty impressive. If you are going to try GHKCU, this is by prescription only. I'll leave a link in the bio. It's with Transcend. All you have to do is you fill out the form and they'll set up an appointment with you for you guys to have the conversation about it. See if this would be the solution for you. And it's really as simple as that. I have to say though that I am always so impressed by how much my skin was able to bounce back, and The biggest difference that I did start seeing it was when I started using the cream. Now this is probably something that I wish I could have started using even sooner for prevention purposes, but I mean, here we are. Now let's go talk about supplements. But before we dive into the supplements, if you could just give me a sub, that would be absolutely amazing. YouTube's been a dream of mine for as long as I can remember, and we're actually making it happen right now. And with summer shredding happening in 7 days, just feels like the culmination of my entire life. If you already are a sub though, just leave a comment, anything, an emoji, that'd be amazing just so I know that you're still watching. And let's get back into it, because when it comes to supplements, I always take the time to neatly get them all ready for the week. One of the vitamins that I took religiously was always vitamin C. It helps to boost collagen production, which is obviously vital for the firmness of the skin. And then another big one is vitamin E, but also glutathione. These are just very powerful antioxidants, especially the glutathione, which help to prevent the further damaging of the skin. And then obviously your omega-3s or fish oils. Not only are omega-3s obviously very good for your cardiac health, but it also helps with the general structure and health of your skin cells. And now here's a weird one. It goes by many names, and I've been given an incredible amount of flack for this one, but gelatin. Well, I've actually been unknowingly helping my loose skin situation by eating a bunch of Jell-O. Now, I'm not saying that you should be eating as much Jell-O as I was, but having a Jell-O here and there might not hurt. It tastes great, and it's only 20 calories. And it can actually potentially help with your loose skin. So, having one here or there for only 20 calories, really not that bad. I'm just wondering where all the haters are now. And now let's talk about real nutrition. So now when it came to foods, I made sure to focus on high quality protein sources. Now yes, the protein will play a part in the firmness of your skin, but it was more so to be able to support the muscle growth and just the muscle presence while I was losing weight, to make sure that I could essentially fill out the loose skin instead of having too much of it. Back to the fridge. 4 very specific items though that I was eating. I mean, I've been eating essentially the same foods this entire time that I've been losing weight. Eating collagen-rich foods like chicken breasts, and then mixing that with a lot of egg whites and some eggs, because these are full of an amino acid called proline. And proline is incredibly key in the collagen production cycle. See where I'm going with this? But unfortunately, there are some factors that we just cannot control. And one of the most important ones is going to be your genetic composition. Genetics are going to play a big role in your skin's ability to bounce back. And this won't matter how perfect your diet is, how slow or fast you lose the weight. It's just going to play a part in if your skin is going to be able to reestablish its elasticity or not. But of course, if you do it properly and if you take the proper steps, then of course, then you can mitigate that. But unfortunately, your genetics is just something that you'll never really be able to beat. And another one that's important to put into perspective here, which you do have a little bit more control over, is actually the speed of your weight loss. The faster you lose the weight, the more susceptible and the more probable it is that you will actually build up loose skin. Versus if you were to do it incredibly slowly, then your skin might have a little bit more time to sort of shrink wrap itself around your body as you're losing the weight itself. Another factor here that comes to play is simply the person's age. Because the older you are, the less likely your skin is going to snap back very well. Losing 200 pounds at 18 years old is going to look drastically different than losing 200 pounds at, let's say, 50 or 60 years old. And then one key factor that can drastically lower your skin's elasticity or its ability to regenerate is going to be smoking cigarettes. So if you're very serious about your loose skin situation and you are a smoker, that should probably be the first thing that you should try to get out of your life. Maybe also for the other million reasons why you shouldn't be smoking in the first place. But something you will have more control over is your time in the gym. And what you really want to focus on here is hypertrophy training, which means that you want to make sure that you can either get your muscles to grow or at least maintain them during your fat loss phases. Because if you crash diet and you don't strength train, you will be eating away at some of your muscle, and that is going to make your loose skin situation worse. So by training in that 12 to 15 rep range, reaching full failure as often as humanly possible, this is how you are going to minimize the loose skin, especially on those areas like your arms and your legs and your limbs. Afterwards at night, I would do my next set of cardio again. After which I would actually do another set of 150 per side of this standing twist. I know there's no scientific back data behind this, but I know it's worked for me. And if anything, it helped with my lower spine mobility, all just making my core feel better. But I think that really there is one aspect of the loose skin situation that we really need to talk about, and it's the mental health aspect of it. See, I get asked every single day, at least 5 to 10 times on Instagram, that these people want to lose weight, but that they're so incredibly terrified of the loose skin that they know is going to come. And I can without a doubt tell you that that is the absolute worst mindset that you could ever possibly have when it comes to weight loss. See, because as an obese person, we have this ability to rationalize things like this and avoid actually taking action out of the fear of failure. And if you really take a deep dive into it, you're scared of the journey, you're scared of the work you're gonna have to put into. You're not scared of having loose skin. Essentially, it's almost like you want an out for when things are going to get rough because you know it's coming. So will you have loose skin when you lose a bunch of weight? Probably. But I can promise you that the benefits of losing the weight are so much better from any self-confidence issues that can come from having loose skin in the first place. See, I actually have a little bit more loose skin than people think because mine is, fortunately for me, hidden very well. Now, like I said, my loose skin appears mostly when I bend over. Now, where I'll usually wear my boxers like this, which completely hides it and keeps it snug, the second I bring them down to my actual waist, you can really start to see it here. Or when I bend over, then I mean, you can see it's there. Between my lower abdomen and my chest, there is definitely a bit of loose skin there. Because at the end of the day, loose skin is just part of the journey. It's essentially our price to pay for abusing our bodies for such a long period of time. And if it gets that bad for you mentally, then there's absolutely no shame in looking into surgical options. Now, obviously the cost of surgeries can be exorbitantly high, but you might just have to look outside the box a little bit. There's a lot of travel plastic tourism nowadays where people can get some good pricing in places like Colombia, Mexico, Turkey. So again, there's always different options, but that is definitely a bridge that you should cross when you get there. So at the end of the day, don't let your fear of loose skin keep you from completely transforming your life. This journey should and always has to be about the health benefits and the mental shift that comes with it, and that is absolutely priceless. But if there's anything that I can really leave you with here today, is that, like I said earlier, if your main fear of losing weight is the accumulation of loose skin, you are already actively putting barriers in front of yourself to make sure that when you fail, you'll have something to blame it on. And that is just another way to set ourselves up for failure, or at least to be able to swallow that pill when it comes. So I really hope that you maybe took away something from this video. If you did, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment of an emoji or anything else for that matter. And with that, we start the Summer Shredding Championship Finals Peak Week videos very soon. And like always, I hope you have a wonderful day.